Hi, my dear friends in history. Today I will tell you about the first humans on the territory of modern Ukraine. They appeared around 1.4 to 1 million years up to 6000 BCE. The history of Ukrainian lands began long before the first kingdoms or even tribes. It began when the first humans appeared here around 1.5 to 1 million years ago, during the Old Stone Age or Paleolithic era. The Ice Ages, the setting of human origins. Back then, Europe looked completely different. The northern part of the continent was covered by a massive ice sheet, which several times advanced and retreated over tens of thousands of years. Between these cold periods came warmer times when people could move north and settle new lands. Ukraine was located on the southern edge of the glaciers, a border zone between icy tundra and milder steppe. While the north was frozen, southern regions like Podillia, the Carpathians, and Zakarpattia offered a livable climate with rivers, forests, and rich wildlife. That's where the earliest human settlements appeared. The earliest humans, Homo erectus, from 1 million to 150,000 years BCE. The first inhabitants of what is now Ukraine were Homo erectus, or upright humans. Archaeologists found their stone tools at sites such as Korolevo in Zakarpattia, which dates back 1.4 million years ago, Amvrosiyevka in Donetsk, and Kiyikivtsi in Podillia. Some of these artifacts are over 800,000 years old, among the oldest in all Europe. These early humans lived in small groups, hunted animals, and gathered wild plants. They made simple stone tools, hand axes, and scrapers by chipping one stone against another. They didn't yet know how to make fire, but they learned to keep it burning once found in nature. For example, after lightning strikes or wildfires. Their lives were harsh: cold winds, wild beasts, and constant danger. But they learned to survive, to adapt, and that was humanity's greatest skill. The Neanderthals, masters of the cold, 150,000 to 40,000 BCE. During later ice ages, Neanderthals spread across Europe, including Ukraine. The climate grew even colder. Glaciers reached deep into Central Europe, and the Ukrainian landscape turned into a frozen tundra home to mammoths, bisons, and reindeer. Neanderthal sites have been found in Kirillivska cave in Kyiv, in Crimea, Kyikoba, Starosilla, and Donbass, and the Carpathians. They could make and control fire, build simple shelters, and craft sharper stone tools for hunting and skinning animals. Neanderthals were also the first to bury their dead, a sign of early spiritual life, perhaps belief in the afterlife. They lived in small family groups and relied on cooperation to survive the ice and snow. Homo sapiens, the arrival of modern humans, from 40,000 to 10,000 BCE. Around 40,000 years ago, the ice began to retreat and a milder climate returned. Into these lands came modern humans, Homo sapiens, who brought with them advanced skills, art, and imagination. Archaeologists have found their sites at Mezin in Chernihiv region, Mezhirich near Kaniv, Molodova in Bukovina, Dobronichivka, and Hinsi. These people were remarkable creators. They built homes from mammoth bones, crafted tools from flint, bone, and antler, and even made jewelry and musical instruments. The Mizzen site is especially famous. It dates around 18,000 BCE. Archaeologists discovered bracelets carved from mammoth ivory, figurines of women and animals, and ornaments with geometric patterns. These are among the oldest examples of prehistoric art in Europe, showing that early humans were not just survivors, they were artists and thinkers. In the south of Ukraine, near the city of Melitopol, rises the stone grave, Kam'yana Mohyla. It looks like an ordinary sandstone hill, but in truth, it's one of the oldest sanctuaries in all of Europe. Formed over 12 million years ago on the bottom of an ancient sea, its caves became homes to humans more than 24,000 years ago. On the wall, they carved over 3,000 petroglyphs, images of people, animals, the sun, and mysterious symbols. Some scholars believe this carving may represent one of the earliest forms of writing in human history, long before Sumer or Egypt. For thousands of years, Kam'yana Mohyla remained a sacred place for many peoples, from Paleolithic hunters to Scythian tribes. Here they prayed to the sun, performed rituals, and left behind remarks of their faith and imagination. Today, the Kam'yana Mohyla is a national reserve and a UNESCO World Heritage candidate, a timeless witness of the spiritual origins of humanity, and proof that the story of Ukraine began long before the first written word. Unfortunately, Kam'yana Mohyla is occupied by Russia since 2022, and nobody knows what they have excavated and took to Russia. The Mesolithic period after the ice, 10,000 to 6,000 BCE. When the last glaciers melted, Europe entered the Mesolithic or Middle Stone Age. The climate became warmer and wetter, forests spread, and rivers and lakes teemed with fish. People adapted quickly. They invented bows and arrows, harpoons, and dugout canoes. They domesticated dogs and later goats and pigs. Settlements grew along rivers such as the Dnipro, Desna, and Southern Bug. For the first time, humans began to stay in one place for longer, building small huts, forming communities, and developing local traditions. The Neolithic Revolution, after 6000 BCE, before Common Era. Around 6000 BCE, a new age began, the Neolithic or New Stone Age. This was a turning point in human history. People learned to farm crops, raise animals, to make pottery, to store food. They built permanent homes, wove cloth, and erased the first trade and religions. This transformation from hunting to gathering of food production laid the foundation for the first agricultural civilization in Europe, Trypillian or Cucuteni-Trypillia culture, which would emerge soon after on the territory of modern Ukraine and Romania. From the first primitive stone tools to the rise of farming and art, Ukraine's land witnessed over 1,000,000 years of human progress. Throughout the Ice Age, people endured brutal cold, adapted to new environments, and built communities that shared fire, tools, and stories. By the end of the Stone Age, they had become creators of culture, people capable not only to survive, but of imagination, beauty, and belief. And that is how, long before cities or nations existed, the story of humanity and of Ukraine truly began. In the next videos, I'll tell you an exciting story about the first civilization in Europe. Please subscribe, share the video, and leave your comments. Have a nice time.